Yeah, 2 streams tomorrow, semi-final and final. Today, we have between 2 and 3 series left. First one is going to be Joreuz versus Mawkzy. Mawkzy starting off with a drive kickoff, just letting the ball bounce over him into the back corner there. Joreuz won't complain as he gets free possession from it. One that he wasn't really able to do too much with there. Already Mawkzy's all over him with multiple trips, and now, while demo attempt, Joreuz has avoided all those. Mawkzy show him what his flicks can do. Once again, 1-0. You heard all the KSA players cancelled on me last minute. That's not the case. I don't know where you heard that. What happened is that TRK asked if it could be moved, and then all the other KSA players said sure. So that's how it actually happened. The KSA A team, TRK's team, actually said that if it wasn't possible for the series to be moved, they were happy to play with just 2 of them. Roas and Naupo were confident that they could win with just the 2 of them against KSA's B team. So I said that might not be necessary. Let me check and see if the KSA's B team are good to play tomorrow, and they said they are. So yeah, we will have the match tomorrow, but that will be the absolute last attempt at rescheduling. Oh, good save by Joreuz. He's keeping himself in this. His boost is gone. He's in a rough spot here. Yeah, like I said, we're not going to have another change. If somebody can't show up for tomorrow's match, then there will be forfeits. I'm always happy to reschedule show matches and tournaments around the players if they give me advance notice, which they did in this case. But unfortunately, tomorrow will be the absolute last time that I can stream it. I'm leaving to go away for Christmas and New Year the very next day, so tomorrow is my last stream of the year. We're gonna play that semi-final and final out regardless of if somebody's got to go at the last minute. Well, that's gonna be a forfeit, which is still winnable in this format. Actually, you can still win even if one of your team is not available. You can still get the win. It's possible, especially in KSA A team's case. So Joreuz is finally getting a bit of stability in the series, which hasn't been going well for him too far. I think he's accidentally double jumped there, and he misses the corner boost as well. Mawkzy probably should have flicked that ball high. Just got in some follow-up play planned, because Joreuz completely messed up. He double jumped by mistake over the corner boost, and that gave Mawkzy a huge advantage in the position, one that he didn't use too well. It's going to be very interesting to see what strategy Joreuz tries to employ to stop Mawkzy's flick game from firing. I mean, right now, what he's tried has not worked, but you can't really blame him. These flicks are spectacular once again. Mawkzy is just too good at this aspect of the game. I think that Joreuz's best bet will be to try and either challenge or fake challenge as early as possible. You need, if you're going to fake challenge against Mawkzy when he's lining up a flick, you need to do it as early as possible before he builds up momentum, before he gets too close to your goal. Because if you're faking a challenge and he's already in your half, he's probably just going to use that as an opportunity to flick the ball over you and punish whatever fake you do send his way. But if you're faking near his box or like in his half, then you've got a chance. You still might not make it, but at least you've got more of a chance of catching up to the ball and intercepting it. Joreuz is trying to counter-attack there, but missed his first touch. Mawkzy's been fully in control so far for France. Atto standing by, say, watching this matchup. Has to be hoping that Joreuz can pull it out of the bag, because if Joreuz doesn't, Atto's going to need to beat Mawkzy and Monkey Moon, who have looked incredibly good recently. Would that be more impressive? I think it would be, to be honest. If Atto, for example, beats Juicy, Mawkzy, and Monkey Moon in the same day, is that more impressive than Firskiller's very near reverse sweep of KSA's B team, where he had to beat Clears, Ams, and Dark all on the same day? I'd probably say it is. I think Mawkzy is a higher level than Clears recently. I think Monkey Moon, his level looks very, very impressive. I'd probably say I would put him, I'd predict him over Dark usually. I mean, Dark's got a higher peak, but Monkey Moon's floor just looks ridiculously high. And then yeah, Juicy pretty similar there. So I think that's a tough aspirato if he has to win 3 straight against Mawkzy Monkey Moon. Well, actually not straight. I guess he's got a little bit of a break there. He's beaten Juicy and now he might have to come back for more. Joreuz is somewhat stabilized here. He's got a good chance to score a second goal. First touch backs up Mawkzy. Flick doesn't really do too much. From that range, got to get as much of an angle change of the ball as possible. Mawkzy lunged in and closed the gap before Joreuz could slot. It's a good trip by Joreuz, but his first touch to knock the ball upwards didn't really get enough height on it. Shut down immediately. Mawkzy counters Joreuz's attempted boost grab and scores a 5th goal with relative ease. And there's the forfeit from Joreuz. It's 5-1 in game 1. Oops. As I show the controls. A very dominant display from Mawkzy. A worrying sign for the rest of Europe team. Mawkzy took down Joreuz in their most recent matchup. They didn't play against each other in the Pro Drops EU tournament, if I'm not mistaken. Mawkzy eliminated by Toxic there. His nemesis took him down. And when they did match up more recently, or after that I think it was, Mawkzy came out on top against Joreuz. You know, when Mawkzy's confident, he could beat anyone. And Joreuz has not got a counter to the Flick game. He's dropped a nice one in chat here. I don't know if he means this as a compliment completely, or if he's just getting frustrated at the consistency of Mawkzy's flicks right now. We'll give him the benefit of the doubt and say that Joreuz is being nice, but well, Mawkzy's more than a one-trick pony. Great save. Counter-attack isn't going to bounce too well for him though. The backball demo might. Joreuz didn't see it coming. Mawkzy's got all the time in the world to make it 2-0. Yeah, we'll give Joreuz the benefit of the doubt and say that he's being nice, acknowledging that Mawkzy is probably, I think, the best flick game in the world right now. If Joreuz is going to stop that, he needs proactivity. You don't save these by backing off. It's quite simple. It's kind of interesting to me actually. I've never seen. Have you guys seen anyone calling like an unstoppable flick cringe? Joreuz pulls off a nice mind game, controls the open net well. Have you guys ever seen an unstoppable flick being called cringe? Because people call air dual bumps cringe. One, because they feel helpless. I think mainly because they feel helpless when it's executed properly. You feel like there's nothing you can do against it. You feel like, oh well, what was I supposed to do there? They're literally flying in front of the ball. How can I save the shot if the opponent is flying in front of the ball at supersonic, blocking it the entire time? That's cringe. I can't do anything. But secondly, because it's not just because it's unstoppable in some cases, but because people think bumps are cringe by default. I would disagree with both of those statements personally, but you know, I'm just explaining why people call it cringe. I never see people calling an unstoppable flick cringe. I never see people calling an unstoppable flip reset cringe. Like, I don't think air dual bumps are the most unstoppable move in the game. Like, Mawkzy's flicks look more unsavable than air dual bumps. When he pops off and gets them all to work perfectly, they genuinely look unsavable. Whereas air dual bumps, there always seems like there's an angle to save it, whether you're going to go beside the air dual bump, around the side of it to get the save, if you're going to go over the top of it, if you're going to go under it, if you're just going to try and hit the player directly to knock them back into the ball. Like, in my opinion, there's always a way to save an air double bump, whether it's changing the angle of the approach or the timing of the approach or the momentum of the approach. But what do you do against Mawkzy's flicks? If you're shadowing, I don't think it's savable. You gotta pre-jump before he flicks almost, or like as he's flicking, you've got to already be in the air, I guess. It's just a harder thing to do than to simply challenge before he can even do it. Am I calling Mawkzy cringe? No, I'm calling it cringe that people call air double bumps cringe. I think people calling air double bumps cringe and calling demos cringe is cringe. Oh, good shot by Mawkzy. Now, you know, when you've got a flick game like his, you're going to get a lot of free mind game goals because he's got everybody pre-jumping high. Is it just me? Spam 1 in chat if you enjoy if a bump goal or a goal involving a bump or a demo is just the most satisfying way to score a solo play. Like, I feel so much more satisfied scoring with a bump or a demo than with any other type of solo play, personally. That's just me. Like, obviously team plays, passing plays are satisfying for a different reason. You know, the synergy is a great thing to have. It's very enjoyable to feel like you're synergizing with your teammates, teaming up to score. But honestly, like, the most satisfying solo play to me, way more than like scoring a ceiling shot or a flip reset or an air dribble or anything else, is just scoring any variation of bump or demo. Like, that to me, the fact that I know that I've really annoyed someone somewhere else in the world, it just is a different type of satisfaction. The drive ahead demo, exactly. If you just leave the ball, drive in front of it and demo the opponent, oh boy, they're going to be frustrated. Like, does that not bring joy to your heart? You cold, dark human. Or yeah, when they talk trash. Like, I love it when you bump somebody twice in the first 30 seconds and then they type something in frustration in the chat. Like, that's peak entertainment for Rocket League Ranked, in my opinion. That's as good as it gets. The amount of dopamine my brain releases when that happens, unmatched. So how could that possibly be cringe? Squishy Boy, thanks for the £53 donation to the prize pool. We're almost at the Johnny Boy matching cap here. I'm like I said, I'm matching the prize pool donations up till £1,250. We're at 11.57. So double that. That's the prize pool. Any prize pool donations beyond that goal will still be added to the prize pool, of course. I just won't be matching them any higher than that. Sevaget, thanks to the Prime. Low Teamer, thanks to the 2-month tier 1. Welcome and welcome back to the channel, respectively. Joreuz put up a great game 2 here compared to the first. He's just absolutely going for it. He needs to be aggressive in this matchup. And a very nice early challenge stops Mawkzy from advancing. Mawkzy's just not had as many looks from close range to score those unstoppable shots like he had in game 1. And to put Joreuz in uncomfortable positions. Joreuz needs to be so careful. Very hard to beat anyone 3 games in a row these days in ones, but Mawkzy especially. Oh, how's that ball bouncing though? Joreuz had half a chance. I think he decided not to go when he heard Mawkzy jumping. Mawkzy missed though. It's a great pop by Mawkzy. Joreuz is going to try and work with this though. A great first touch, sets him up well. Mawkzy defends it, clears it as well, and grabs some mid boost. Joreuz will be pretty annoyed that he couldn't get that one. Low fake for Mawkzy. Joreuz equal to it. Mawkzy looking for many mind games. He doesn't want to go high, but Joreuz is in the way of him and he's away for the lead with just 28 seconds left. Well, was that one too many mind games? Maybe two too many mind games for Mawkzy. He was thriving with the high flicks earlier on. Tries to bait Joreuz into pre-jumping like he did already this game. Twice in a row there, Joreuz just reads. And Mawkzy is not planning to make a high play. Oh, this is so close. Joreuz again narrowly evades the attempted demo. He's completely out of boost here. Mawkzy circling, trying to get an early shot off. Joreuz tries to fight for mid boost, doesn't get it. Mawkzy needs to attack quickly here if he's going to keep Joreuz boost starved. Joreuz just sticking to the ball and now has 100 boost in the back corner. Mawkzy with 67, flicks early. Joreuz fake challenge worked. Mawkzy coming again. Actually gets an angle shot on target, but it's off the post. And Joreuz will tie the game. We've got a completely dead even matchup, ladies and gentlemen. It's 1-1 between France and the rest of Europe. It's 1-1 between Mawkzy and Joreuz. What a crucial win that is for Joreuz. If he didn't win this, I think his confidence would have been completely in the bin. I think it would have been a quick end to today with France looking too strong. This will give Atto so much hope. He's got his captain showing that Mawkzy is beatable. It's been all about activity for Joreuz. He harassed Mawkzy at the tail end of that game. Not giving Mawkzy as much time to set up as he did. He's sticking to the grind game though. He had the wall game as an option there. Still coming on the grind, but this time with the bounce dribble, not the ball carry. Worth noting. Joreuz is really doing such a great job denying shots on target here. Mawkzy's been very limited. And Joreuz with the pace. Creates one for himself, and it's 1-0. You know, Benato looked vulnerable against Juicy. I said there's one guy on this team that I could see possibly sweeping France out of the tournament, reverse sweeping them. There's this guy right here. Joreuz, if he peaks, can beat anyone. He can chain together results. He's done it before to win tournaments more than anyone else in recent history. He doesn't have that one gear that he has to rely on. I think that's bouncing well for Joreuz here. Joreuz doesn't need to play at this pace. He's shown that he's quite happy to slow down the pace against other players, most notably Luis. He's just sitting in net and defending against him. But versus Mawkzy, he knows he's going to need to go out there and fight him for every ball. Joreuz is doing that right now and winning the majority of the exchanges. Can Mawkzy respond? It's usually Mawkzy who's obliterating his opponents. In Europe, only Toxic and Joreuz have recently been able to have his number when Mawkzy's on fire. Joreuz is trying to add himself to that list. Oh, it's a nicely timed flick there by Mawkzy. Joreuz is still sticking to the same game plan. Challenge early. Deny Mawkzy the close range flicks, but Mawkzy saw that one coming. Such a hard line to balance. You know, when do you fake a challenge against Mawkzy? You don't want to do it too often because you're just going to fall prey to his ridiculously high level flick game. You've got to do it at some point, otherwise you are just going to be too predictable. Joreuz a 6 boost, fakes a couple of, well, he went for a couple of wall dashes, I should say, to overall fake a rush on the ball. I think that's why Mawkzy backed down. He thought, well, wait a minute, Joreuz, sorry, he's coming in with pace. Suddenly, a low flick from Mawkzy goes underneath Joreuz. Well, he's benefiting from just having such a good flick the majority of the time that when he misses one, Joreuz jumps too high. This is kind of working the same way that the fake did in the last game. Mawkzy was able to completely fake out Joreuz by approaching as if he's going to launch a flick into the top shelf. That time he actually tried to, and the miss works out just as well. Joxy, that's, yeah, the perfect 1v1 player, isn't it? Just Joreuz' aerial game and creativity combined with Mawkzy's ground game and just brute force consistency. I mean, if there's a combination of 1v1 players that would be unbeatable, that's a decent shout. What do you guys think? What would be the perfect combination of 1v1 players? I think right now you probably want to throw Joreuz in there for his defense and just overall consistency. And then who would have the offense to perfectly complement him? Yeah, maybe Jan, actually. It's a good shout. Jan and Joreuz. Jan's offense, Joreuz's defense. Sounds pretty unbeatable to me. TRK. Well, TRK is more of an all-rounder. Same with Daniel. Daniel and TRK are more like all-rounders. Same with like Jack as well. Whereas Joreuz is just the defense specialist, and Jan is like the offense specialist. They're both very capable at the aspect of the game which they're not specializing in. But as far as, like, you know, best offense, best defense, I think that's probably who I would name. That's not the bump that Mawkzy was looking for. Joreuz has a long time for the open net, and he does well with it. Just slots from distance. Yeah, if you want to divide the game between ground and aerial game as well, if you know, defense, offense, Joreuz, Jan. Ground, aerial, that's an interesting one. It could be something like Mawkzy and is it Dark? I don't know if it's Dark. Nah, it's probably too early to say Dark as the best aerial game. Needs more evidence. very, very hard one to say. Because, yeah, aerial game is so diverse. Naupo, yeah, possibly. But again, he's not been super consistent either. I think it might be too early to say Naupo. I'd want to pick one of the top players. You know, it might just be Yan again, to be honest. It might just be Yan. Yan, the best aerial game and the best offense, possibly, I think. He's got Yan's got a monstrous air double bump game and a very, very good flip reset game as well. So I might have to go Yan. Like, there's some players who are better than him at just pure air double bumps, and some players who are better than him at like pure flip reset game. But he's got both to an exceptionally high level. I think Daniel's flip reset game is at that level, but I don't know if his air double bump game is. I think players like Jack have got an air double bump game to that level, but I'm not sure if his flip reset game is Yan level. Hold on a second here. What on earth has happened to Mawkzy at the tail end of this game? That was absolutely atrocious by his level to just concede from a strong defensive position while putting up almost no fight at the same time. Joreuz doesn't immediately go for the back corner boost. Oh, he's too afraid of the demo though. He's let Mawkzy run straight down the middle. Well, that was questionable by Joreuz. He didn't rush the corner boost seal because he didn't want Mawkzy to have an open net, but then he ran away from the demo by too great of a degree and gave Mawkzy an open net. Both players delayed the kickoff. Joreuz delayed it more. Mawkzy actually pops it over him. Well, that's not a kickoff you're going to see every day. Mawkzy saw that Joreuz was coming in slowly, actually tried to match him for pace at the last second, hit the ball into him, and then dunked on Joreuz such that came right back towards him. Very, very high level mind games on display there, but Mawkzy made up for an earlier mistake to close out the third game. You know, to recap, Mawkzy had a 1-goal lead, he had a boost advantage and possession, albeit in defense, and he just very casually gave the ball away to Joreuz. I think he was trying to keep the ball more than anything, but he could have just air dribbled it, could have tried to clear it further. I think both would have been fine options given the fact that he had boost to catch up to the ball if he hits it away from himself. Yeah, Joreuz returned the favour with a misplay of his own and gave Mawkzy the advantage even later in the game. Nice recovery by Mawkzy. Not going to get a goal off the back of this, but still has a good position. Well, Joreuz has perfectly read Mawkzy's speed on that play. Either that or he got lucky, but Mawkzy wanted a bump. Joreuz just ignored it, just let it happen. It's not always a terrible idea to just let a bump happen, by the way. There are positions where that's a good thing, as I'm sure those of you who have seen the recent developments on attempted counters of the wave dash recovery kickoff will know. That was close. Mawkzy flicks to the top corner. In other news, sky's blue. Yeah, I do wonder, did Joreuz know that Mawkzy wasn't going to be supersonic when he arrived there? Because I think if Mawkzy dodged, he would have been supersonic and would have simply just demoed Joreuz. But he's probably anticipating Joreuz to jump, so he didn't dodge. It's either a very, very high level mind game there by Joreuz reading Mawkzy's speed and also reading the fact that he won't dodge, or he's just like, well, let's just see what happens here. Just sit still and see how this plays out. Air double bump lands for Joreuz. Mawkzy looked to go over the top of him there. Joreuz just managed to make contact. A lot of quick shots coming out between these players. I think Mawkzy's one of those guys who, you know, in my opinion, sometimes I'm looking at what he's quick chatting and looking at what he's saying, and I'm thinking surely he's going to tilt himself here, but there have been many cases of him actually winning these closely fought games where there's lots of quick chat being fired back and forth. Mawkzy again telling Joreuz that he's got it. He loves his mind games, Mawkzy. Both in the game and in the chat as well. Now Mawkzy can be aggressive here. He knows Joreuz isn't low boost, so he's quite happy to just continue throwing in challenges. Now Joreuz evens out that disadvantage. Mawkzy's still in control. I like the positioning there by Mawkzy to deny Joreuz attempted demo run by, while also keeping himself in a position that he can challenge the ball if necessary. Are there any quick chat mind games in RLCS? Yeah, the players sometimes quick chat in RLCS. Most of it is genuine, like, you know, saves for actual good saves and nice shots for nice shots, etc. But occasionally there have been some BM quick chats in RLCS. But yeah, Rocket League and Psyonix have decided not to enable that for broadcasts, I guess, just to try and keep gameplay the focus. I wouldn't be against an experiment. I would be very interested to see how enabling quick chat in RLCS would go. Just so you guys, in majors, yeah, there's been quick chat in majors as well. I've seen plenty quick chat, because sometimes the casters have it on, and you guys don't. When we're online, I have it on, and you guys don't, so I can see all the quick chat. And sometimes, yeah, I'm wishing that we had it on for you guys. I think you'd enjoy it very much. Mawkzy's just patiently waited for his opportunity here for an awful long time. Joreuz got a little bit careless. Oh, Mawkzy's dropped the double incoming as he scores the open net on the replay. I think this might be working, you know. I think Joreuz might be getting a bit frustrated about this. The Mawkzy quick chat is taking its toll. His save rate on flicks has definitely increased. Joreuz having a good time with these now. Look at the counter attack. Both players are just launching the ball at the backboard. Joreuz finally has a chance to get his own attack started. He's been struggling to create opportunities. To settle for a dunk at the near post there. Not really many ways of scoring from that angle. Joreuz faked a challenge in reverse. He's going to try and double off his own backboard. Doesn't make solid contact. Mawkzy turns it right back around on him. Joreuz with one save, but can't get a second one. And more quick chat flying in. Mawkzy with a third incoming. Joreuz with a no problem. He's a bit unlucky that didn't pinch further, but Mawkzy did so well with the initial shot. Really put pressure on the Dutchman. He's just 90 seconds away from eliminating the rest of Europe's star player. And that might be in as well. Joreuz drops another no problem, preemptively this time. I think he will know better than anyone. And he has got lots of problems at the moment. His main one. So Mawkzy does not look like he's out of his comfort zone right now. Joreuz has tried to surprise Mawkzy with a more aggressive defensive stance earlier. Mawkzy did just fine against it. Love that little delayed flick, the slowdown flick there from Mawkzy. Joreuz is equal to it though. Wants one of his own, and it's a beauty! Joreuz launches one over Mawkzy's head. He is not done yet. 1 goal difference. Joreuz has to win here if he's going to stay in the tournament. Oh, maybe not tournament. It's a bit early to say that, but stay in this match against France. Mawkzy still preferring to go for the ground game against Joreuz, and he flicks it past him again. He's just stuck to his game plan. Oh, he says you know where it's going. Almost as if to say, why don't you save it? You know it's going top corner. Why aren't you there? Mawkzy is trash talking one of the greatest ones players of all time, and it's working. He is about to win 3-1 if he can keep this up. Joreuz has fought bravely. He's tried everything that he can to mix it up in defense and keep Mawkzy guessing, but at the end of it all, Mawkzy's ground game is just too good. Joreuz has not been clinical enough with his own attack. He absolutely has to score here. Unfortunately, his flick is just not at the same level this time. He has the occasional quality flick to write home about, but Mawkzy just has them so much more often as another flick gets saved. Mawkzy's shown that there are levels to the flick game here, and Joreuz is not on his. Joreuz might be ahead of Mawkzy in the aerial game, but Mawkzy kept this grounded start to finish, wins 3-1. Joreuz will finish it off with a yep top left. It's your only play, GG's. Oh, you can't be too happy about how this one ended. Yeah, still works, says Mawkzy. I'll keep reading this out for all of you who are watching on mobile. Is that he says after 4 best of. Has Mawkzy beaten Joreuz 4 times in a row? I didn't realize it was that one-sided. Joreuz says you're the most predictable player ever, but you're so good at it that it works. It's not a bad thing.